In previous lessons, we have talked about categories. So if I were to say apple, orange, banana, you would say that those are fruits. If I were to say red, yellow, green, purple, you would say those are colors. Well, we know that things can be put into categories. We have learned about animals. Let's look here on our screen and you tell me the name of the animal. Mason?
Tiger.
Good. Friends watching? Giraffe? Holly?
Hippo.
A hippo, hippopotamus. And Michaela?
An elephant.
We know that they are animals. Animals can move from place to place on their own. They are living. They can feel pain. If you accidentally stamp on your dog's paw, you know that they will yelp because it hurts. An animal is a living thing. It can move from place to place. It can feel pain. Well, let's look here. These are plants. We know that plants grow. They cannot feel pain. They cannot move from place to place. We are never going to look out the window and see the tree in our yard running across the street to visit the neighbor's tree in their yard. We're not going to see that. Now, plants can be moved if we move them. If they're in a pot, we can move them from one place, but they are growing, but they can't move, they can't feel pain. If you were to prune a tree and you were to cut back the branches, it's not going to go ouch, ouch, ouch every time a branch is cut off. It's not going to do that. It can't move from place to place. It's alive, it's going to grow, but it does not feel pain. So that's a plant. We've got bushes, we've got a flower, we have a tree. They grow, they don't feel pain, they don't move from place to place. And then we talked about things. Things are not alive. They don't grow, they don't move from place to place like this jar. This jar is not going to say, oh, that tickles if you put a pen in it. It's not going to do that. It's not alive. It doesn't feel pain. It doesn't move from place to place. The pens, the pencils, they're not going to grow. They are not going to feel pain. Now, they're going to move if you move them, if you pick them up and move them, but you're never going to peek into our classroom or your on-site location and see crayons and pens and pencils running around our classroom. It's not going to happen. They're not alive. They don't feel pain. When you break the point on your pencil, do you ever hear your pencil crying? No, you don't hear your pencil crying because the point on that pencil broke. It's not alive. It's not going to grow. It's not going to feel pain. Well, in our lesson today, we've got a paper that we're going to work on together because we are a team. The directions say to cross out the object in each group that is not a plant. Then it says color the plants. We know that a plant is alive, it can grow, but it cannot feel pain and it cannot move from place to place. Now I have to tell you, Mrs. Turner is not good at growing plants. I was given a plant recently and I tried to water it, but it didn't like Mrs. Turner. I ended up killing that plant. Mrs. Turner does not have a green thumb. Now if you look at my thumb, it's not green. That's just an expression. If you can grow plants and you're good with gardens and good with different flowers, you're said to have a green thumb. Not that you'll literally have a green thumb, but you're said to have a green thumb. It just means that you grow plants well. So let's look at our paper. Let's look at the first circle. What is not a plant in the first picture, Lincoln?
The fish.
The fish. So let's cross out the fish, because the fish is not a plant. Go to the pink circle. What is not a plant, Holly?
The fox.
You're correct. The fox is not a plant, but the flower and the grass, that would be a plant. So cross out the fox. Go to the yellow circle. The yellow circle. What is not a plant? Michaela?
The frog.
The frog. Go ahead and cross it out. It is not a plant. And then go to the last circle, the green. What is not a plant, friends watching? Yes, you are correct. The pig is not a plant. Oh, the tree, the flower, those are plants. Now the plant can grow, but it cannot move from place to place, and it cannot feel pain. If I were to go get a flower and take it to my grandmother or to my mom, when I pick that flower, it's not going to say ouch. It's not going to cry. It's not going to feel. It doesn't feel pain the way an animal would feel pain, the way we would feel pain. Now on our picture, we were able to cross out the fish. We were able to cross out the fox, the frog, and the pig because they are not what?
Animals.
They're not plants. They're not plants. And so for the remainder of our lesson, go ahead and let's follow the directions. It says color the plants. You may begin. We haven't done this for a while. Pop. Crayon check. How do you hold that crayon? Tommy, thumb, and Peter, pointer, pinch it. It rests on Toby, Tom, and make sure you're holding the crayon toward the bottom by that wavy line. You're coloring up and down or side to side in one direction. At the beginning of our lesson, we reviewed the different categories. How an animal can feel pain. It's living. It can grow. It can move from place to place. How a plant is a living thing. It grows, but it doesn't feel pain, and it cannot move from place to place. And a thing, it's not alive. It doesn't grow, it doesn't feel pain, and it doesn't move from place to place. On your paper today, you worked with Mrs. Turner to cross out the things that are not plants in the picture. And now you are coloring the plants. So for the friends in our classroom and for our friends who are watching, for the remainder of our lesson, Mrs. Turner would like for you to take your time and color the plants. Know that we're going to keep this paper because we're going to do the back in a future lesson.